Hello everyone, and once again welcome to my channel Engineering Made Simple. Now we were studying wireless networks course. Now in that this is our lecture number 3. We were studying technologies related to wireless personal area networks. Now in wireless personal area networks today we study another technology which is named radio frequency identification or RFID. Next, what is radio frequency identification? So what do you mean by radio frequency identification or RFID in short? Radio frequency identification is an automatic identification method relying on storing and remotely retrieving data using devices called RFID tags or transponders. An RFID tag is an object that can be attached to or incorporated into a product, animal, or the person for the purpose of identification using radio waves. Now, see, this is very much clear. Tag is an object which is attached to the object from which we are trying to extract some data. If we are into animal exploration, or if you are developing something, developing a product, then in order to study the data, we need to attach these RFID tags to the product which we are observing, and the process of identification is done by using the radio waves. That is what is known as radio frequency identification. So an ID tag is attached to the object of our observation, and the data which the tags receives or reads is received on a computer, and we can analyze that, and this data is communicated to us by using radio waves, so it is known as radio frequency identification. Next, there are different type of RFID tags. Chip based RFID tag contains silicon chips and antennas. Now, there are two types of tags, that is RFID tags. Passive tags are the one which requires no internal power source, whereas active tags are the ones who require an internal power source, which requires a power source, and passive tags are the ones who does not require an internal power source. Now next, RFID, another name, if somebody asks you what is the another name of RFID, or write a short note on dedicated short range communication. So what is DSRC? Dedicated short range communication is nothing but another name for RFID. So RFID and DSRC are the same things, and DSRC stands for dedicated short range communication. So the by name itself it is pretty much clear that it is a type of short range communication for specific dedicated purposes or readings or identification purposes. So that is why it is known as dedicated short range communication. Now let us study the radio specifications of RFID. Radio specifications of RFID are defined by the ISO IEC 18000 series of standards. Now what is ISO? ISO is a standard making body, and IEC is also a standard making body. So ISO stands for International Organization for Standards, and IEC stands for International Electrotechnical Commission. So these are the two standard making bodies which defines or specifies the radio specifications of RFID. Now the RFID devices or RFID tags or readers or whatever you may call it operates in these four frequency bands. In the low frequency band of 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz, in high frequency band of 3 to 30 megahertz, and in ultra high frequency band from 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, and in microwave frequency band in between 2 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz. Now as you know from here, from this table, that different regions have different telecom regulatory standards. That's why the frequency band is different for different countries for RFID. Now, in low frequency, the range of RFID tags or readers is 10 centimeter. When it is in the high frequency band, the range of the RFID devices is between 10 centimeter to 1 meter. That is the coverage radius. When I talk about range, I am talking about the coverage radius of RFID devices. So, in ultra high frequency, the range is in between 1 meter to 12 meters. and in the microwave frequency region, it range can go up to 200 meters. That is the coverage radius of RFID devices can go up to 200 meters. Now in the second column, the RFID frequency band in the specific regions or countries is given, and in the third column applications are given. And in low frequency application, access control is there, inventory control is there, and traceability system is there. Similarly, for other frequency bands also applications are listed. You can through this once. Go through it once. Sorry. Now, after studying radio specifications of RFID technology, let us move on to the actual RFID system and understand what is an actual RFID system and what does it consist of. So as you can see, the following figure 3.1 shows the simplified diagram of an RFID system. Now, after observing the diagram, you come to know that it consists of the following RFID components, namely the tag, reader, antenna, and the reader, which is connected wirelessly through a network to the host computer. So let us start by defining an RFID system. RFID system may consist of a RFID tag and reader, but an RFID system comprises of many other underlying technologies such as computer network, internet, wireless devices, and software, all working together to form a complete RFID system. Now this RFID system consists of two layers, namely physical layer, and the second one is IT layer or information technology layer. Now, what does the physical layer of an RFID system consist of? The physical layer consists of all the hardware components of the RFID system, namely RFID tags, RFID readers, and RFID readers antennas. Now, the second layer of what does the second layer of the RFID system consist? Second layer is the information technology layer. As the name suggests, it consists of the software related to information technology domain. So what does exactly the IT layer of RFID system consist of? It consists of appropriate software for interpreting the data which is read from the tags, middleware applications, databases, and other user applications. So this is what the IT layer of RFID system consists of. Now, as you have studied RFID system in detail, let us understand the individual components of an RFID system in brief. Now, let us study the various components of an RFID system. So, let us start for our first component for the study is RFID tag. Now, in a typical RFID system, individual objects are equipped with a small inexpensive tag. The tag contains a transponder with a digital memory chip that is given a unique electronic product code, which is used to identify that particular tag within a given RFID network. So that's the reason it is each tag in an RFID network is given a unique electronic product code, or sometimes it is called as serial number also. So now, as we discussed earlier, that the tag contains a transponder with a digital memory chip. Now, what do you mean by transponder? A transponder in a tag is a device that, upon receiving a signal at the input, emits a different signal in response. So that is what a transponder means, and everybody knows what is the function of the digital memory chip or what is a digital memory. So the tag consists of the primarily of two main components, namely the transponder and the digital memory chip. Now, what is the function of transponder over here? The transponder emits or transmits messages with a unique identification number that is retrieved from a database and acts upon it accordingly. Now, next, the writable memory in the digital memory chip of the RFID tag is used to transmit information among RFID readers at different locations. Now, what does this mean? Now, in any RFID network, RFID network consists of several readers and several tags. The RFID readers and RFID tags are separated by a geographical location. So now, uh, in order to understand and transmit information from tags to different readers, the writable memory is used to write those information and then transmit it to the different RFID readers. So before transmitting any information, it has to be written in the writable memory of the RFID tag. So if you want to transmit information from RFID tag to different RFID reader, suppose thing it is in different locations, so it the first important step is to write that information in the writable memory of the RFID tag. Now the second component we are going to study in the RFID system is that of the the RFID reader or RFID interrogator. So basically RFID reader and interrogator means the same thing. So another name for RFID reader is RFID interrogator. Now what is the function of RFID reader? RFID reader sends an activation signal and waits for the response that contains the tag's serial number or unique electronic program code and possibly additional information stored in the tag. So I have explained briefly what does the reader do. So this is what again I would like to explain. The interrogator or the reader sends an activation signal to the tag, and upon sending an activation signal it waits for the RFID tag's response. And the response may contain tags, identification number and possibly additional information which we require or which we want, that is stored in the tag. So this I would like to explain again in simpler terms over here. So what does an interrogator or reader consist of? The interrogator or reader consists of an antenna package with a transceiver and a decoder. Now what is the meaning of transceiver? Transceiver is a combination of transmitter and receiver in a single package. And decoder is pretty much clear. What do you mean by decoder? So the interrogator or reader is simply an antenna package with a transceiver and a decoder that emits the signal activating the RFID tag so that it can read or write to it. So the this is the main component of an RFID system, because uh, it has the power to send the activation signal to the tag. After receiving the signal to the tag, then and then only the tag can function. So and individually a tag cannot function without any readers. So because the reader always sends an activating signal to a particular tag, so that particular information can be read from a particular tag or the specific tag. That is what is explained in simpler terms over here. The interrogator or reader is an antenna packaged with a transceiver and decoder which emits a tag activating signal so that the RFID tag can read or write data to it and transmit information further to host computer. So now how does this process happen? When an RFID tag passes through the electromagnetic zone, it detects the reader's activation signal, and then only the reader decodes the data that is encoded in the tag or tags integrated circuit IC, and then the data is passed to host computer. So the reader decodes the data encoded in the tag which is in its electromagnetic zone and which has received the reader's activation signal, and then picks the data from the tag or reads the data from the tag, and then the data is passed to host computer for further processing. Now the next step is of data validation. So the application software on the host computer processes the data and performs various filtering and operations to reduce the number of often redundant reads of the same tag to a smaller and more useful data set. So this is what is meant by data validation. So this is performed by the IT layer which we discussed earlier. The application software on the host computer processes the data and may perform various filtering operations and reduce the number of redundant reads. Sometimes the reader reads the same number of tag again and again, but we don't want the same information to be processed again and again, as it is a redundant read, because once that tag is read, the information is already known. So why to waste our time and processing resources on duplicate set of information? So that is why data validation is done by filtering and numerous other operations to remove redundant reads of the same tag to a smaller and more useful data set, which provides us more insights, or the data quality improves for further processing. Now next we will study about different RFID components which we discussed earlier and specific characteristics related to them. Now let us start by RFID tags. Now RFID tags are of two types: active with what size battery within them. Passive tags are the ones which do not contain any battery or power source. Semi-active tags are the tags which contains battery, and size of the tags varies from less than 1 square inch to many square inches. Now tags are dependent on power and frequency. So examples of the power and frequency requirements are given in the bracket. 13.56 megahertz, which is a high frequency, 433 megahertz, 900 megahertz, 2.4 gigahertz with power requirement from 1 milliwatt to watt. So from this from these characteristics of RFID tag, we come to know that the tags can be of active and passive, and what is tags can be of two types, namely active and passive, and sometimes semi-active also is used. And what is the size of the tag? And we also come to know that tags are dependent on power and frequency. Now next, so these are the different types of RFID tags. So the first one shows the RFID tags or labels for asset tracking. Second one is an RFID tag which works in the ultra high frequency range for asset tracking, returnable transport items, and waste management. And the third one which you see at the bottom of the screen is also an UHF, that is ultra high frequency RFID temperature tag, which withstands higher temperatures and used in that environment, and can be used in high temperature environments for asset tracking and logistic and automation and manufacturing. The second most important component and its characteristics we are going to study, which is the RFID reader. So reader, what are its characteristics? Reader can receive data, validate data, meaning filtering and processing the data and removing the redundant reads. That is nothing but what do you mean by validate data. Then send data to an appropriate tag, and manage various middleware applications and softwares that help to transmit the data from the tag to the reader to the host computer and other processes. So middleware is nothing but the programs or software which facilitates further processing of data on the host computer. So host data management software applications is another characteristic. Now these are the different types of RFID readers. Now this is a handheld RFID reader, and this is an industrial RFID reader, the second one, black colored one. Both are black color, but industrial RFID readers I have mentioned, and this one is a handheld RFID readers. Now we will move on to study key features of RFID technology, that is radio frequency identification. No line of sight. RFID tags do not need to be visible to read or write. So it is the most important feature that the transmitter and the receiver can be invisible to each other, and even after being invisible they can perform data transfer and data processing and so on. So RFID tags do not need to be visible to be read or written. So that is no line of sight robust. Because RFID systems do not need to be visible, in other words, they support no line of sight communication. They can be encased within rugged material, protecting them from the environment in which they are being used. This means they can be used in harsh fluid and chemical environments and rough handling situations. So that is the reason we use them in industries. Both industrial grade RFID tags and industrial grade RFID readers are available. The diagrams I had shown you earlier, or the pictures of it I had shown you earlier. Now read speed. Now as it uses radio frequency for transmission, the read speed of the tag is also good. Tags can be read from significant distances as they are connected wirelessly, and also can be read very quickly. For example, if we are reading the tags which are tags from the baggage which are on a conveyor belt. Another important feature of RFID is reading multiple items. A number of tag items can be read at the same time within an RF field. This can be done easily with visual identifiers. Security, because tags are enclosed in a casing, they are much more difficult to tamper. A number of tag types now also come programmed with a unique identifier, that is serial identifier number, which is guaranteed to be unique throughout the world. So it enhances security as it consists of a unique identifier, and it is difficult to tamper as it comes in a casing, which is not in the case of barcodes, which can be easily tampered. Programmability. Many tags are read-write capable rather than read-only. This means that information can be written to the tag, perhaps to show that the atom being tagged has gone through a particular process, or that its condition or status has changed somehow. So, this programmability of the tags is used in our day-to-day life whenever we order anything online. So, whenever we are tracking our delivery or asset tracking, then every time a tag is read onto the station, the information is updated so that the customer gets real-time updates of the product and where it is located currently, and when it can reach to the customer. So that is possible only by programmability of the feature of the RFID tag. So let us study practical applications of RFID system. Now RFID systems can be used anywhere, from clothing tags to tagging missiles to pet tags to food tags. Anywhere where a unique identification system is needed, we can make use of radio frequency identification technology, that is RFID. So the tag can carry information which is as simple as pet owner's name and address, or the cleaning instructions on a sweater, to as complex instruction on how to assemble a car. Now some auto manufacturers make use of RFID systems to move cars through an assembly line. At each successive stage of production, the RFID tag tells the computers what the next step of the automated assembly is, or what is the next thing they should assemble in the car. So now let us discuss some more applications of the RFID systems. First application is in the automotive domain. Now automotive industry have added enhanced security and convenience to automobiles by using RFID technology for anti-theft features such as anti-theft mobilizers and passive entry systems. Second application of RFID system is in animal tracking, which is used by ranchers and livestock producers. So ranchers and livestock producers use RFID technology to meet export regulations and optimize livestock value. Wild animals are tracked in ecological studies, and many pets who are tracked are returned to owners. Now, while regarding this wild animals and ecological studies, we see many programs on National Geographic and Discovery Channel where animals are tagged, and the ecological people who do ecological studies read the appropriate data from that animal and make appropriate analysis and regarding their ecological studies. So this is how an RFID tag or RFID technology is used in animal tracking and ecological studies. And many times they are in animal tracking also finds application in pet animals. When an RFID tag is attached to a particular pet animal, supposing for instance if the pet gets lost somewhere, so the owner can track the location of the pet using the RFID tag. In such a way, many tagged pets are returned to their owners. Now, the next important application is asset tracking. Now, hospital and pharmacies meet tough product accountability legislation with RFID. Libraries limit theft and keep books in circulation more efficiently. And sports and entertainment entrepreneurs find that smart tickets are their ticket to better bottom line and happier customers. So these are the various applications in the assets tracking domain. Then contactless e-commerce. Now blue chip companies such as, or credit card companies such as, or smart card companies namely American Express, Exxon Mobil and MasterCard use innovative form factors that are enabled by RFID technology to strengthen brand loyalty and boost revenue per customer. Now, supply chain management. This is another application related to e-commerce industry. Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and other retailers have discovered that RFID technology can keep a track of inventories at optimal level, reduce out-of-stock losses, limit shoplifting by customers, and speed customers through checkout lines. So, as when we use when we use RFID technology in Walmart, so it basically speeds up the billing process of the customers. Now let us study few advantages of RFID technology over barcodes. So RFID eliminates the need of line of sight reading that barcoding depends on. Simple meaning of this statement is that barcoding requires line of sight communication. That is, the transmitter and receiver should be facing each other. The code should face the reader. But in case of RFID, no line of sight communication is required for reading it. So RFID scanning can be done at greater distances than barcode scanning. So high frequency RFID systems in the frequency band of 850 to 950 megahertz and 2.4 to 2.5 gigahertz offer more transmission ranges than 90 feet. So coverage radius of RFID is much more than barcode scanning. So barcodes are fixed at the time of printing and the code remains fixed and are rendered useless if they are smudged or tampered manually. So what all books you should refer while studying this course? So in under recommended reading, I would like to recommend few books. First one is Vijay K. Garg, Wireless Communication and Networking by Vijay K. Garg. Second book is Wireless and Mobile Networks Concepts and Protocol by Dr. Sunil Kumar S. Manvi, Mahabaleshwar S. Kakasagri. Third book is Mobile Communications by Joshin Sila. Now you can refer this course from multiple textbooks. These are few books given in your Mumbai University syllabus. Also, I will let you know if there are some other books related to different topics. So as of now, these three books I would like to recommend you for reading this course or studying this course. Now, if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Click on the bell icon to get notification of all my latest uploads. Thank you.